Is Ash Wednesday biblical? Well, I guess it depends on what you mean by biblical. If you mean that the biblical text prescribes a practice called Ash Wednesday, then no. But if you mean by biblical that there is a rich history of church tradition that has its roots in the biblical text, then I think a strong argument can be made for yes. Ash Wednesday has immense biblical roots in the symbolism. Ashes were used in the Old Testament to symbolize grief and mourning and just a truly humble stature. This is in Genesis 3 that says that humanity came from dust, and to dust that we're going to return. It's Abraham, when he presents himself to Yahweh, he refers to himself as a person of dust and ashes. It's Daniel who, as he prepares to fast, he puts on sackcloth and ashes. It's Esther who mourns with ashes. I mean, you find this everywhere. Now, in church history, we find the first documentation sometime in the 8th century of a day. There's a Latin phrase that's called the Day of Ashes. And then by the 9th century, there was this practice of taking ashes and adorning it on your forehead or on your head. And then by the 11th century, the practice expanded from Germany out into the West. An interesting thing, somewhere between the 9th and 11th century, is that the actual ashes came from the previous year, Palm Sunday. The palms that were used for Palm Sunday were burned, and those ashes were used to be placed on your forehead in the symbol of a cross. And so I think that Ash Wednesday is an incredible opportunity for believers to participate in a practice of cultivating dependence, a moment in our calendar year where we're intentionally recognizing our own weakness, our own frailty, and how important it is for you and I to cultivate humility. In fact, ashes are a symbolism of humility. If you want to cultivate humility, and if you want to practice and kind of participate in Lent, but you're trying to figure out exactly how do I do this, I'd love to invite you to read through my book, The Hidden Peace. It is a retrieval of a biblical theology of humility, and I think it could be the perfect guide for you as you walk through these next 40 days of Lent. You can just comment the word humility, and I'll send you the link.